Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I'm your host, Pete Pardo, publisher and CEO of SOT. Today, we got a very cool release on Metal Blade Records. It is the return of British, actually, I should say, new wave of British heavy metal legends, Angelwitch, Angel of Light. Pretty cool cover art there, huh? Here's the guys. So, a little bit of history. So, these guys formed in like the mid-70s. Seemed like a million years ago, right? Burst on the scene with their debut album, Angelwitch, in 1980, right around the same time that you had debut albums and, first appearances from bands like Def Leppard and Iron Maiden and Saxon and, all the, Tigers of Pantang, all those guys, Diamond Head, Satan, so on and so forth, Demon, right? Angelwitch right there with them. Okay, made a big splash with that first album. Okay. Took a while to follow that up, right? So, 1985, Screaming and Bleeding. 1986, Frontal Assault. And then, boom, they're gone. Okay, they're gone. They didn't resurface again until 2012 with one of probably the best comeback albums I've heard in quite some time, As Above, So Below. All right, now it's taken them quite a long time to kind of follow that up. All right, so now we've got this brand new one. Like I said, hot off the presses. And who's in the band, you might be asking? Pete, after all this time, who's still in the band? Well, you got Kevin Hayborn, okay, founding member on vocals and guitars. He's still fronting the ship, right? We've got on bass Will Palmer, who's been in the band since the reformation back in the, 10 years ago or so. Jimmy Martin on guitars, joined them fairly recently. And Frederick Jansen on drums also joined them fairly recently. So what we have here is a fairly new incarnation of the band. All right. But of course, with Kevin manning the ship, like I said before, keeping the fire for Angelwitch going all these years. So we've got, what do we got? 8 tracks on this new one. Really melodic. Don't let Angelwitch. You hear the name of the band. I've always thought that Angelwitch, between the album art imagery and the name and some of the song titles, everybody always assumed kind of like an very evilish band. But at their core, basically, speed metal, thrash, classic metal. All right, very melodic, very pleasing to the ear. A lot of great guitar riffs and solos and things like that. Frantic rhythms, catchy tunes. This is really, really strong, guys. What do we got here? Don't Turn Your Back, Death from Andromeda, great tune. Okay, We Are Damned, The Night is Calling, Condemned, Window of Despair, I Am Infamy, and Angel of Light, the title track. I Am Infamy, another strong track. Really, all the tunes on here, really, really strong, classic metal stuff. Again, not quite thrash, not quite speed metal. But what's amazing is that these guys have kept basically the exact same style that they debuted back with their self-titled back in 1980. How many years ago was that? It's a long time ago. Long time ago. So, yeah, I dig it. And the production's great on it. Like I said, his vocals are awesome. Okay. One memorable track after another, and they rock really hard. If you're looking for a kind of classic sounding heavy metal album that'll take you back to the early 80s from a band that debuted and burst on the scene back in the day, back during that time period, and probably should have been huge. I mean, that's probably like one of this is one of the bands that came out of that new wave of British heavy metal era that should have been, big, just like Def Leppard, just like Iron Maiden, even like should have hit like Saxon level heights, okay? But because they just couldn't kind of keep it together and they didn't really get that big support when the debut came out, should have. It's a shame we've had to wait so long for like kind of newer material, the last 10 years, all those years in between. But I always say better late than never, right? So I highly urge you to check this out. I just love that album cover. Really, really cool. Angel of Light by Angelwitch. New wave of British heavy metal veterans are back and kicking ass yet again. You know what I'd love to see? Because it's funny. You've got like Angelwitch. You've got Satan. You've got Diamond Head. All 3 of them. Tigers of Pantang. All 4 of them. 4 of those more underground bands from that era. Never quite made it that big. Releasing killer stuff over the last 5-10 years. All right, I'll tell you, don't give up on any of those bands. Go seek out some of the new material from these guys, from Satan, from Diamond Head, and from Tigers of Pantang. You'll dig it. Really good, honest, melodic, fast-paced heavy metal. Classic metal. Doesn't get more classic sounding than that. All right. I know we talk a lot about British bands on this show. So many of the best hard rock and metal bands in history have come from Great Britain. Or from the UK in general. It's kind of worked out that way, right? Not that there's not great bands from the US and from Germany and, all sorts of other places. Of course there is, and we love all of them. But I don't know, for my money, some of the best heavy music has always come from the UK. It's just the way it is, right? So check this out, Metal Blade Records. You will not regret it. Great stuff. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time, people. So stay tuned. We got more coming. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.